HHH1987.com.
Say your name and outlet.
How you doing? Terrell Thomas, HHH1987. Before actually thinking about coming out with the film and everything, did you read the book, or did you see the 50 Shades of Grey and decided to do your own parody to it?
Nah, I seen girls reading this book. It was all curled up and giddy and hot and bothered on the plane. I was like, what is that? And I was just like, so I started reading the book, and I heard how much of a big seller it was, and I was just like, what? And so I started reading the book, and as I was reading the book, I just started writing down jokes. Like, jokes just kept coming to me. Like, this is everything he was saying, because it was so serious. I was just like, oh, it'd be funny if it was this. And I was just like, when I was reading the book, I was personally unimpressed by the sex stuff, because I was like, this is basic. I did this in my first month of, ever tossing something up, and handcuffs. You know what I mean? It's like, so I was thinking. And so I was thinking that I was going to write my first parody book and do something different. And then I heard the movie was coming out. So off the book, Rick and I started writing the movie, and instantly the title just kind of hit me. And I was like, what if Christian Grey was black? Because I was thinking about, like, what about the black experience? Like, how would we feel in this situation? And what if this guy was rich and he was black, and then the girl was black? And how would she feel about some of these things? And you ain't gonna do all of it. It's gonna be a point where sister's gonna go, enough of this shit. And so jokes just started coming to me, and before I knew it, we had a script. But if I'm not inspired, I'm not gonna write it. If it don't make me laugh, and my pen's just not. If I'm not just writing jokes, if jokes aren't just coming off my hand, or if I'm just pitching and me and Rick's in a room and we're not making each other laugh, and we don't have over 100 or up to 1,000 pages of just jokes and funny scenes, I'm not messing with it. I'm not gonna go there with like 3 jokes, because for me, I'm greedy. I like to pack a script with a lot of jokes, because I'm from the hood, and I want people to laugh as much as they possibly could and get their money's worth. When you go to a movie and you get 3 laughs, I don't think it's enough.
No.
Well, at least see me sweat, so I'm giving the effort. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that brings up a good point. I'm Terry with Atlanta Daily World and Real Times Media.
I know.
Dude, how you doing? What is it that you and your brothers are doing? Like, the other scary movies. This is something like that, like a parody of it.
Yeah.
So, do you guys focus on certain movies? Do one of your brothers find a movie and y'all say, okay, this would be a good one? Like,
You just
how do you
just get inspired. I mean, back in the day, Sean would have an idea and go, yo, what if we did this? And then me and Ken go, that'd be funny, but what if we did this and this, that to it? Oh, that's dope. And what about these characters? And so that process, we used to, often between the 3 of us, that's how it happened. But nowadays, I've been doing my own thing, so it's me going, it'd be funny. Or Rick going, it'd be funny, and we throw it back and forth to each other. And, like I said, you just get inspired. I sit down in the movie, I see things, I see a different experience than a lot of people see. I go to funerals, and I'll be the only one laughing. People are like, what you laughing at? It's just the way I see the world, I swear, I have a twisted sense of humor, but that's how I know that I was born to do this, because I see the world differently than anybody else.
So do you have a little bit more leeway now because of your track record? You personally, but also because of your family?
I hope. I mean, look, my family, we have our sense of humor, but even though we're a family and we all have a similar sense of humor, we're all different. We're like potato chips. I'm like spicy jalapeno with a twist of lime. I'm crazy, and then my brothers know. Like, when we were working together, there's rails, right? And so in this one, I think my first 2 movies, Haunted House, when I did those, there was no rails. I was just like, yo, I don't care. I'm just going. If it's funny to me, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. And I think in this one, I think this one I was a little bit more responsible in terms of making choices because I know that this one it's a date movie. And I know that I have to be responsible for, I can't go too far because women are funny. Stand-up taught me this. If you go too far with women, there's a way to do a joke where they'll laugh at it and they'll enjoy it. Guys, we're a little less sensitive. You know, we just kind of say it, but we don't like you to hold punches. So this one you had to know how much to hit, when to pull back. I really listened, and I think more than any of my other movies, I think this one women are gonna like as well. This is a great couples movie because both people are laughing. Yes.
How difficult was it for you? Oh, Xaviera from Ice Cream Combos.
Okay.
How difficult was it for you to play a terrible lover in a film?
Well, being that I'm so masterful in bed, it was really hard. No, I did throw back to to when I was younger, to my younger days. I think every guy when you first have sex, you're bad. There's no guy who has sex for the first time who is good in bed. There's no guy. Period. We all lie, first of all, about how much sex we had before we had it. Everybody in here lied about their virginity, even the girls, because it's like. But it takes a while to master that because first of all, when you get inside of it, you let off. First you got to learn how to control the sword because you got to last more than a minute. I'm 43 and still there's times where I'm like, hold on a second, girl. It was hard but easy. I think it takes humility to plug into how to be a bad lover, and you have to remember those times that we're not always good. There's times that you're just bad. Sometimes, selfishly, as a guy, you just want yours. You want yours, and you want to go to sleep. I don't want all this. I don't want to cuddle. I just want to knock. And same thing with women. Sometimes women are bad. Sometimes women they do, and they're just like, hurry up. And it's different. So you have to really plug into what's bad about the experience and do it in a way that everybody can embrace and everybody's gonna laugh at the same time. Like, yeah, that's true, because that's to have a kernel of truth.
Right. Now, you said earlier that you were more responsible with this particular film because it's a date movie. What did you find yourself like, nah, bro, we just can't do that?
Oh, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Believe me, even when because we shot it. We shot a lot of stuff. I mean, in the book, they had some wild stuff, like some wild. In the book they had this scene. It was about having sex on her menstruation, and people do it. What I'm saying? It's not like, oh, that's taboo. But we went there, and then we found ourselves going. They didn't put it in the movie, and I see why they did because it's all, even though it happens, it's not women. In y'all eyes, it's like, when that happens, unless it's your man and y'all been together a long time, it's not a comfortable situation. Even with him, you want to lay the towels down, you want to dim the lights the right way, you want the washcloth ready, there's things that but in terms of a movie, I only got 90 minutes, and I can't take 90 minutes trying to do that one scene. And for me, now, if something is noise, I go, take it out. If it's any noise, any disturbance, and I learned this doing stand-up, if it's gonna hurt, if it's gonna make anybody feel uncomfortable or uneasy, the majority, you gotta take it out. It's not worth it. That one scene is not worth me hurting my entire movie.
Okay.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Tammy. We're talking with him. Nice
How
to
you
meet
doing,
you.
Tammy? I'm good.
In the movie, you dress very well.
Thank you.
I'd like to know who were some of the designers you worked with for the movie? And my second question is, how long did it take you to make the movie? And where did you shoot?
Shot the movie in Los Angeles. We shot it in 20 days.
Oh.
And on once again, a shoestring budget. We just so happened to, this is our third movie, so we were able to, our process, me, Rick, and Mike's process is a little different. Our crew is all up to speed. When people see the movie, people think we did this for like $35 million. We made this movie for $5 million. And
You said it like that ain't nothing.
okay, the original 50 Shades of Grey cost $75 million to make.
Wow.
So when you compare that to $5 million, $5 million to make a movie in Hollywood, that's not a lot. And the comedies, of course, 45, sometimes anywhere, actually from 25 to $45 million to do it for 5 and doing it for a fraction of the budget. So, you know, we just got the most out of it, and we got some great locations, and our costume designer, Ariella, she's awesome. We got some, Ariella, and Moods of Norway, which is actually the suit I have on. I wore Moods of Norway. I wore a lot of that stuff in the movie. I wore some Zara. You know, Zara got some hot. Don't sleep on Zara. Don't sleep on Zara. Zara. If you throw Zara in there, you could throw on some like nice shoes. You could throw on some. You gotta sneak it in there though. You throw on some nice like Gucci shoes, and then you throw the Zara suit. People go, whoa, no. You can, oh no. This, call me $200. Zara. Who else? I think those are the two I mostly wore. I'm not sure if I had Hugo.
Norway. Oh.
Moods of Norway.
Norway, okay. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
RayCornelius.com, nice to meet you. What was one of your funniest scenes that you remember when you guys were shooting? Like the one scene that really
The
stood
Magic
out?
Mike scene. Magic Mike.
You get that
That scene, first of all, was the hardest scene in the movie to film. You know, I had to do dance choreography. I worked out. We filmed that like the last maybe 3 days that we was filming, and I literally worked out 6 days a week, sometimes 2 times a day, to try to get my look. You're gonna be damn near ass naked, you know, and it's, you know, for the ladies, and you know, I gotta try and be my best. You know what I mean? Plus Channing's a friend. I can't have him showing me up like, you know, like that, you know. So I just worked out real hard, and I did the choreography, and I did all the things I had to do to film that scene, because that scene was about, for me, it was about stamina. So all the working out I did wasn't even about the body. It was about, I'm gonna be dancing for literally 16 to 18 hours, and I have to have stamina. So I trained for that moment, so that when we're on set, and Michael Rick are like, yo, we need another take. I'm just like, let's do it. I'm no complaints. You know, I'm compliant. On my movies, I give myself. I rarely go to my trailer. I sit there on set because I'm a producer as well. I'm watching every scene, and even when I'm in the scene, I sit back and I go, okay, here's how we gotta redo this, blah, 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 blah. I try not to miss any takes. So the Magic Mike thing just was like a day of gags, and it was a big production. But we got a lot of funny stuff, and we didn't even get every joke that we wrote. But I felt like Rick and I was like, okay, we're gonna punt on this joke, and this joke, and this joke, because we don't have time. But I know we have enough in here to gather some huge laughs.
You made me want to see
Yes,
the
sir.
unedited version.
Huh?
You made me can't wait for the
Oh.
director's cut.
The director's cut's gonna be ridiculous. We got some ridiculousness, boy.
Julian Locker with Control Magazine. You work with a lot of amazing people. How did you choose your cast?
Well, the audition process was one, but actually no, this one was, we had some great casting director, Lisa Beach, she's wonderful, but this one, you know, a lot of my movies, the cast God cast the movie with you. You get who you're supposed to get, you know, you always have in your mind, I want this person, that person, this person, that person, none of that ever pans out. And what's the key is that you have some really funny things written, some great characters written, and you find people that are really fun and got good minds, and they're willing to improvise and try stuff and be game to play. And Callie was, you know, game to play. Mike Epps, when he came in, I told Epps, I was like, yo, we just gonna learn the lines, but we gonna do a take like that, and then we rocking. I got you. Let's just go. And I was just like, flow. And I did the same thing with Cedric. Huh?
Was a lot of the off the top of your
Yeah,
head?
it's a lot of improv, but we use it's improv, and the movies that we write, I always leave room for improv. Because for me, I like to make the actors writers as well. That's why I cast comedians that are really strong, and I know they have a good voice, because when it comes times to improvise, they're pretty much gonna be in pocket, or they're gonna make it funnier. And so, that's why I like to populate them. And then, you know, the movie with comedians. But Jane Seymour, we was just like, what about Jane Seymour? I didn't think she was gonna do it. No, she was fuck out of here. But she did it. I was like, oh, I'm in. And then Fred Willard, and you know, and what's her name? Katisha, Jenny Zagrino. You know, she was on my show Funniest Wins, and me and Rick on Funniest Wins, we was like, you know, we created that show to find young talent, and she was one of those people. And Batch, I'm very proud of her. She came in an audition, and she did two auditions for us, and I was just like, I'm gonna give her that shot because I know what she can do. And every day she went home, you know, she came to set, I was like, you got your back pocket, meaning you have, you know, I want other options. Don't just give me what I wrote, give me better than what I wrote. Beat the script. And then Batch, you know, everybody know him from Instagram. And I could have cast multiple people. Me and Batch had a couple of meetings, and I was just like, I'm gonna put you in something. We're gonna step it up a notch. And I put my money where my mouth is, and you know, I believed, and you know, he knocked it out the park. So, yes, ma'am.
Hey, I'm Nia with Comedy Hype. I just wanted to know, did you and Mike Epps ever talk about the Richard Pryor role? Since y'all were both.
No, I mean, Mike came to set, and look, man, when it comes to like roles and stuff like that, that's on the director. That's the director's choice, and that's the studio's choice. And you know, I'm fine with it. You know, either way it goes, I'm happy for him. If it ever happens, I mean, when it happens, it'll be great for him. I give him all the love in the world, and you know, I hope he smashes it. I don't have no beef, and you know, for me, I put it to rest like this. I would have loved to done Richard, but you know, God plays my cards, and whatever he deals me, I accept it. And I know that is what it's supposed to be. There's no other way. If that's what happened, that is by design, and God wanted that to happen the way it happened. And so for me, instantly, when it didn't happen for me, I was like, you know, I wanted to play a legend, but honestly now, after studying Richard and watching Richard, I want to be a legend. And so that's what I'm working on. I'm working on the legacy of Marlon. I've been a big part of the Wayans legacy, and you know, but I'm trying to make my first name mean as much as my last right now. These are my years, and I got a lot of great things happening, and I'm blessed, I'm excited, and I'm inspired. Something funny, but I was like, yeah, we talked about it. Fuck Mike and fuck Yes. Oh, wait, let me get somebody else. Go ahead.
Matt Rodriguez with ShakeFire.com.
What's that?
This is your third time working with Michael Titus now as director. You know, how have you guys evolved working together? Do you just fall into a rhythm now?
Oh, it's definitely a rhythm. Like it's so much easier than the first one. You know, now we get each other. You know, there's a much more of a trust. I trusted him before, but after you've done 3 movies, he knows how I work. I know how he works. I give them space, even as producer and writer, and we give each other the space. We know it's not at first you're working out the process, it can be a little frustrating. You know, it's like you play with someone long enough, and you just kind of you know. So now even in editing, I know I don't have to be in the room every day. I'm gonna go to the editing room 2 times a week because I'm gonna be, or 3 times a week, and then I'm gonna be on tour, and I'm gonna leave you guys with notes. I'll Skype in if I need to. But I trust what y'all putting together, and I know the last 3 weeks of editing, I'm in there watching frame by frame, going, how do we make this funnier? I don't like this, blah, 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 blah. Working with Mike is fun because there's not we skip the process of a director's cut, then a producer's cut. No, we all cut the movie together. It's me, Rick, and Mike sit in the room together, and we make choices. And sometimes we disagree, and that's okay, but we always, you know, we defer to each other, and I think that's what's important. That's a diplomatic process, and you know, that really handle it respectfully. At the end of the day, you know, everybody's like, "You got final cut." I do, but I don't want to do a final cut that everybody's not comfortable with. You know, you put a team together. It's only best that you use them for what they're good at. Mike is really good at the visual. Rick is really good at story. When it comes to jokes, I'm really good at that. So collectively, we all have strengths, and we're all getting better at each one of those things. So, you know, I love the process. I'll do 200 movies with Mike. And we do these movies in 20 days. You know how hard it is to film a movie in 20 days? It's virtually impossible, improbable at best. But we get so much done, and you know, it's real aggressive, and you know, you have to have a trust. Yes, sir.
Outside of the movies, I know you're also doing things with sitcoms as well. You have something coming up with NBC. Could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, I got a show I'm doing with NBC, a pilot actually. This is my first time. I've written other shows, but I haven't gone to pilot. This is the first one since Wayans Brothers is actually going to pilot, and I'm excited. And it's called Marlon, and it's based on my life of being like an inappropriate dad, who's because with my kids, I'm like their brother more than their dad. I'm silly. That's just what I am, and I'm a lot of fun, and it's raising them like a single father, but co-parenting with somebody that you love to death, and you're obviously best friends and like soulmates, but life just don't have y'all be together, and it's a lot of fun, and I think it's like it's like a different. It's like anti-Cosby. It's like not saying anti-Cosby like Cosby like minus the Quaaludes. It's like it's just like a different. Y'all said I try not to say. It's a different kind of TV dad. I think it's more closer to what our generation is used to, because our generation, you look at the fathers and the sons. The father got on his Yankee cap and his Timberlands, and it's unlike our fathers that wore the suit and the tie. And no, these are young dads, and you could be a young dad, and that's like they're like your brother and your sister. My daughter's 15, my son's about to be 14, and I just give them real talks, and sometimes it's completely inappropriate, but I got to give it to them raw, and let their mother correct me.
When will it air? Do you have a?
We're filming the pilot, I think, March or April, and then I also have a deal at NBC Universal, and as a producer, so I'm developing a lot of other projects. And yeah, little baby boy trying to do his thing. I'm trying to win.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions? You guys good?
Are you gonna do a Wayans Brothers show reunion? Do you think that's gonna be in the works?
I would love to. I miss working with Sean. I hope we do a movie or something together. I really want to do White Chicks too. That one, I think we got. That's the one. So hopefully, we'll do that soon. But it's hard to get Negroes together. That's why New Edition keep breaking up. There's always a Bobby. In this case, that's me.
HipHop's1987.com.